Hello everybody! Welcome once again. I'm the Epic Party Guy, and this is, when the video comes in, Dyson Sphere program. Happy New Year to everyone, 2024, and no one I've noticed has said that 2024 is going to be their year. I see everyone's learned their lesson. So, but let's dive into it. I'm here on a cubald planet in the sandbox save of ours. There, that was a little loud in my ears. So, and I've got some buildings set up because, yes, Happy New Year, Triforce. Because the first thing I want to do, and that's something that's not coming through on the stream, I'll fix that in future ones, is import some planetary blueprints. And that includes this guy. And yeah, so you're able to build entirely over the entire planet all at once if you have a blueprint that's big enough. And you combine that with the BABs, the battle analysis buildings, where if you put it down and it's green, meaning it's already been taken out of your inventory and assigned to be placed, the BABs will place for you. So theoretically, and I'm trying this now. As soon as I put down the first BAB and it gets powered, which silly me, I did this on the dark side of the planet. Okay. Yes, they're expanding. Interesting. But it's not. Oh, I see. So that's a problem with the blueprint here. That they're kind of divided up into units. But that doesn't need to be one of those. That could be a wind turbine. So, okay. If I go around and I do this, and I kind of gap that where the units are, where the sections are, the BABs will place everything else. Now, it's going a little slow because this is using entirely solar power, which isn't bad, but there are a lot of things to charge up. That's it. The entire planet ready to be placed now. So, how would I change this? Well, firstly, I would be changing things out to be so this is someone else's blueprint, obviously. This is put up on Dyson Sphere Blueprints by Boten Bauer. Thank you, Boten. Good work. I like it. I love the idea. I just got some tweaks because I don't want to say a tweaker, but whatever. I fidget. So, let's change some of these out. And do I want to make it, does that work? I mean, the spacing of the wind turbines has always bugged me. Yeah, that's not bad. Just gotta turn these things to the side. We'll have them all be... Wait a minute, is that east? Yeah. East to west. So, because I always think of the antenna is gonna be in the back. One section. There we go. I like it. And the benefit to using wind turbines instead of entirely solar panels is that it doesn't matter which side you start on, because as you just saw, it did not entirely work when we had when we started it on the dark side. So I see he's got things so that they are just inside the radius. Is that necessary? I mean, I kind of imagine he did some, you know, design work on it. Yeah, so by starting it with, you know, where all the BABs are in the range of the wind turbines, they'll all be automatically connected and at the very least trickle charging themselves. Yeah, snuff that up. Right in here. Okay. So I'm gonna do this one quadrant. And then copy it over to everything else. So let me... This is the quadrant that I'll be working on. So let's trim here. Hello, Vivacious Cage. So this is me re-engineering a blueprint that is on Dyson Sphere program blueprints, Dyson Sphere blueprints, and this was originally designed by Boltenbauer. Sorry, I don't typically speak German. Pardon for the pronunciation. And they put down a very interesting design of a way to make use of the new battle analysis buildings to automatically build a framework for oh, I should leave that. A framework for the entire planet. And I'm re-engineering it because I fiddle with designs. I think I did too much. Turned off too much. Whatever. Yeah, so I'm doing this quadrant, so... And yeah, so as you put down... As you put down the solar panels and the VABs will build the rest of it. It'll chain react to build the entire planet. Now it won't do the foundation. So I mean, like, I cue-balled this with the sandbox tools. Yeah, so I mean, we'll see the real utility of this when I first go to do it, which kind of means I'm jumping the gun in doing this. I mean, my name in this game shouldn't be the Epic Party Guy; it should be the ADHD Engineer. That is true. It is known. Okay. Why does it keep telling me that? Oh, now you can build mining machines. Yes, I know. I've already acknowledged this. Is it because I haven't put one down? Alright. So, as you can see, Boltenbauer put in exclusively solar panels here. I'm changing it out to I'm just gonna say he because I don't know better. He used solar panels and wireless power towers here as the main power transmission, but that's not the best way. Don't actually need one there. And of course I didn't place this down on a meridian, but that's just a matter for my ADHD, for my OCD. Even though I don't really have OCD, in spite of what some people may say, I'm not. Like, it's not a disorder for me. It's, you know, and I don't want to minimize what the people who have it go through. So by saying, oh yeah, I'm so OCD, whatever. And so yeah, the real benefit of this is that it would let you, you know, just place this down and then build from blueprint from the satellite view the whole way. Okay, so one past the meridian here. So yeah, one past the meridian. Okay, that's good. Now up here with the grid crunch, you can't fit 2 solar panels in there. So you do that. Expand, expand, expand till they overlap, and we're good. It's a fine enough distance. I don't think we have any. I don't think we have any gaps in what can be made or what can be laid down. Hey, hey, Gia Royale, welcome, welcome. Hope everyone had a good New Year's party. No one actively broke the law, you know, or at the very least got caught for it. So where do we need this? This. It's gonna be here. That goes to here. This. Where's this one? This one is 5, 6, 7, 8 past the meridian. 8 grid intersections. And again, we're back to, you know, being aggravated at putting squares on spheres. 5, 6, 7, 8. Because I want to... I'm gonna turn this around so that one there. All right. So that when things get laid down, when this is laying things down, it will build the wind turbine and this. Because, okay, if I did it on this side of it, that also powers it. How is it over here? Not powered by that. All right. Oh. So that's a full grid, so 5 after. There. What's the problem here? Aha. Okay, so see, it's... Is that? Yeah, that'll get... Because it needs to be able to repeat. It needs to be able to... And that'll be enough to get this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 wind turbines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the middle. Apparently now the, which way the building is rotated matters when it's a building that doesn't rotate like these wind turbines, even though they do rotate. But see, this is the benefit of having these building analysis buildings, these things here. Covering everything. Like, as you can see, I'm building from the satellite view. I am way too far away for my own construction drones to do it. Too close to another. Aha. Ooh, almost. Okay. We don't need that. Okay. Here. Let's get these in here. Okay, so now I want to get the rest of the... I see. So yeah, these two build the median here, the middle. Even though not having the equator done here would probably be better. Because I'm going to be building... Yeah, these are also... This is also covering the top two... The upper two squares for here. And I typically make use of those. So... I think I'm going to leave this for now and just go back here when I'm idly, you know, idly thinking about things. Once I've, actually expanded to the to the other planets, and I'm closer to using this. So I'm gonna leave this here. And we'll go to the next thing on the to-do list. Because let me develop some more blueprints for how I want planet scale builds to be. And then we'll go from there. So the next thing on the to-do list is a Mark III manufacturing hub. And here's the base canvas that I have here, where each of these are importing ingredients that are going to have to be made elsewhere and conveyed over here. And from there, turned into the slow build of, the trickle build of all the different, of every single building that we need in the game. I do want these to be at 1,000 because this sandbox is assuming every single non-infinite research has been done, and that includes the research that expands the capacity of these interstellar stations. Now, everything here we should make sure is proliferated. So I have a good amount of proliferator Mark III being called in here. And that is going to be one of the first things. One of the first things I make. I put down new blueprints for in the full game, in the actual run. But yeah, each of these inputs will also serve as like a checklist for what stamps I need to be putting down. So it's handy. Alright, so that's all of it. And each of these output gets sprayed with proliferator and directly brought into boxes. So the first, I like to start simple to complex, and so that means things that have 2 ingredients into an output, and then making sure to spray all the outputs for things that are for things that'll then be used elsewhere. So let's just get a canvas here. Clear that, cause, so we don't want these mucking around with Icarus. The ones inside of here, that is. And these are going to be requesting. Can't click drag. Now, good question about whether we're going to be doing whether we're going to be doing a kind of thing where it's, if you have two boxes of inputs here and a machine here and one output here, you can kind of mirror them to stack them in better. However, in order to get the proliferator going, I think it's going to have to be a little different. and you can't have the outputs be on a sushi belt where multiple things are going onto the same belt, because then it's going to be stopped up the first time that you have something get backed up. So let's do Tesla Tower. Tesla Tower also, so I can have this be iron. Feeding both of those. Now, Tesla Tower requires that and that. Which means this will be gears. Okay, so that's good, that's good. And what here is 2 ingredients and takes gears. Don't think there's much of anything. Nope. Okay, so but the output for these trap myself. All right. So we're gonna have the proliferator kind of weaving through, feeding all the sprayers, which means here, and unfortunately these take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How did I do it on the previous ones? I think I kept that. Yeah, I'm basically remaking this blueprint here from before. From before Rise of the Dark Fog. Because, yeah. And looking closely. Okay, so we have the outputs be in between the manufacturing hub, or in between the assemblers, and there's and I have them spaced further apart. Okay. And I'm not sharing the input boxes. That's what I'm seeing here. And they kind of go... Okay. Because when in doubt, don't reinvent the wheel. Or whenever possible, don't reinvent the wheel. So, we have oh, I see, I cheated. by having the by placing it down first. I always do that to mark where that is. Now, why have this gap here? Well, because I'd kind of want it to be artistic. That's a little far, isn't it? Yeah. Also have this basically present things up above the rest of it so that it can, you can see it easier from an access point of view. So and yeah, I mean, these are, you know, these are intermediary right here. Now, the ones that we are going to be outputting, this isn't where they're going to be outputting from. They're going to be sent over to other interplanetary stations to be sent out to other planets. Now, we have space for that. Go like that. Because I also kind of had a thing where it was, I was using science cubes to highlight around it so I could see it better as well, and I kind of want to preserve. I kind of want to keep that going. So clear that, clear that. Oh, and these are providing. Copy, paste, paste, paste. We'll start with that for now. Okay, so yeah, it's things like this. So this assembler is going to this stack, this assembler is going to this stack, this assembler is going to this stack, this assembler is going to this stack. We're good. This is what we wanted. Except I forgot that. So let's change this. So we can leave that. This is going to be gears and requesting gears. So and actually, all right. So I'm going to be redoing this belt, but it's good to lay it. I'm going to be redoing it up above the layers of where the proliferator is coming through. Again, just so I can see it better. But it's good to leave it here for spacing purposes. Might as well. Is that overkill? Yes, yes it is. Could I also do that? Doesn't matter. The important thing is it consistent? I do want things to be done relatively quickly. And so having the level 1 very close to the level 2 will make it just fine. Alright, that one is good. And yeah, in blueprint design, there's going to be a lot of tearing down what you just put in. So, what's next? What are other 2 items? Not that, not that. Oh, I can just leave that. Good. Good, good, good. That, and then you... be this. Okay, so and I'm just going to continue along this throughout through the ad break, which is coming up very soon. So let's get that started and out of the way, and I'll see you on the other side of it. Welcome back. That was actually quick. So, mostly just double checking here. All the filters, all the sorters, all the resources. That they're set correctly, because that's not something that I want to have to try to diagnose. Kind of like this. Even though I just put that one in, I don't think I originally set it, so. Yeah, I mucked that up. Alright, but it's fine. Yeah, sorter mark 2. Sorter mark 2. Yeah, and that's going to make the mark 3. Mark 1, we're good. Over here are boxes. Now, did I screw this up? I can get those in closer. Can I? I think I can. So these are definitely to be moved. Aha. Fine, I can fix these. There we go. All right. So now we are getting into the, I mean, we could do Mark II boxes. I don't do Mark II boxes. I don't. I just don't. That said, I do want to fill this whole space right here down to that line right there. So. It should be. Yeah, see, that's the idea, to mirror it like that. So, I want to confirm that for myself. So, since I'm going to be, at times, building other people's blueprints, it should be everything. This is one of the Mark II boxes are one of the only things that aren't built from Mark I boxes. Steel, that's steel, stone, that's stone, or stone brick. And then Mark II boxes, and Mark II boxes, done. So, now we get into the tricky part of, yeah, because I think that's the last ones that only have 2 inputs, isn't it? we've got all three sorters, first two belts, the first two power towers. All the assemblies take 3 inputs. That one, so the ones that require dark fog drops, I'm not putting into here, because I'm gonna have a separate like add-on blueprint here for all the combat, for all the dark fog drops. Because there'll be times when I'm you know I don't want to. I don't want to restrain myself in terms of only having this fully apply for playing in games with the dark fog. So, yes, that is the last one that takes only 2 inputs. So, how are we going to do this? We need, firstly, the iron. We need gears. And we need just simply kind of cheating a little bit. Taking it from here. Why is that? I think I screwed up that. But it's fine. I'll address it after the current craziness. Okay. So by moving the Tesla towers into there, we make enough space for these wonderful things. Kind of just sneak it in there. Sneak, sneak, sneak. There we go. Iron, gears, green circuits. Because they are actually too close for the sorters to go directly in. So you need to do this kind of side bridge to be tricky with it. Okay, so what's this? What's this? If I had this spacing here, I could have done that. But I don't wanna. I don't know why it aligns north-south like that. Okay, move that over by 1. Is that the 3? No, that's 2. Okay. That's a problem. This should be going to here. Now, does it work? That did not work. So, the answer is no. There, fixing that. That does not work. How is this not working? Okay, so I see there's a spacing difference here. Okay, in there, this is 3, that's 2. That's right, this one's too far over. That's why it's not working. Ah, the joys of iterative designs. What? Alright. Yeah, I can see this one's like a little more, and this must just be too much. Firstly. Secondly. Collides. That's unfortunate. I wonder. Bear with me here. Because sometimes you can convince the physics engine to do weird things, and no. The answer is no. Ah! Alright. Almost. Okay. Art of belt weaving is just not with it here. Well, okay. Try coming at it from this way. And no, that goes too far. Now, I mean, the question is, can I just move this over to here and have this, bend the belt again there? And the answer is yes, but no, because we're going to need to be weaving the proliferator feeding line into here, and that has to go like that, and it's going to be... See, this is what I meant earlier by weaving it through. And so we need both the space here and the space here. We need spaces on either side. Ah, this is aggravating. Right! I'm gonna be having the belts elevated. This, the borderline, the border belts. Oh, man. There we go. There. And that looks better. It does. It does. Now this, we're going to be moving these. Snugging that up. And is it each to the next? Yes. Come on. Clicking too fast for my own good. Oof, that got me not so much in trouble, it got me embarrassed on New Year's. That's another story. That's a whole different story. So, you go to you. And why not? We can fix these. Now, I could have done... Okay. So, real quick. The other option for having these output... Let's just grab this as an example. Is to... Here. Have them on... this. And it feeds in like that. And it doesn't... That does minimize the power needed. Okay. I guess that's what I'm doing. Technically, it does minimize the power needed. However, splitters are also UPS heavy. I've heard. I don't know if that's like only if they're like having to decide outputs, or if you only have it like with one input and one output, it's fine. Someone who's better at code optimization would have to weigh in on that. But since we're only planning on having a single one of these stamps down, I'm not going to go through that. I'm not going to redo my entire design philosophy here. My entire design schema. This one is there. This one is you. You, and this one is you. Right. That's right. That's right. That's right. I always double check myself because I never really trust myself with things. And they're not mucking around with Icarus and provide to other distributors. Yeah, the ones in the middle here provide to other distributors. Now, gonna have you and oh, right, because it's not actually mirrored anymore. Okay. Fixed. There. Does that matter? Not 1,000%, because it just means that there's no bottleneck between here and here, because this is traveling 2 squares, this is traveling 1 square. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Now the question is, do I want it here? Do I want it here? Because when it comes to 4, we're going to be I might as well, because once we go to 4 inputs, I still want things to be as uniform as possible. So This one is Mark II, and this one the Mark III. So the output is good. So here we have Assemblers Mark 1. Graphene, and then processors. There we go. So let's fix these. Assemblers Mark 1, graphene, and then processors. All right. Wunderbar. And over here. So this takes Assembler Mark IIs, Assemblers Mark II. That's the proper way to reference them. Particle broadband. Don't know why that got dramatic. And I forget. Quantum chips. Oh, Lord, quantum chips. Because there's two intermediary supply chains that are just a pain in the butt. Okay, three. But there are two that have multiple steps in between. The third one is Casimir crystals. I've already mentioned that. I've already complained about that plenty. You have magnetic coils to electric motors to electromagnetic turbines to supermagnetic rings. That's a pain in the butt. You have green circuits and microcrystalline components, wherever that went. Yeah, microcrystalline components into processors, and processors into quantum chips. And that's a pain in the butt. Oh yeah, so I guess the plane filters... Oops. Oh, that's not right. Yeah, so I guess plane filter... Oh, yes! Yes. So, because quantum chips require plane filters, which require Casimir crystals. So the Casimir crystals being a pain in the butt it makes it even worse. Alright. So, here we have the blueprint for the 3 input. And let's paint that down to there. What am I missing? Aha! 3, please. Don't need these. Don't need these. Delete. Alright, and that'll get us to... Oh. Too many. There. There. Yeah. Because don't go outside the lines. Okay, where were we? Right here. So So, what is next? Well, let's continue with the essentials first. This will require graphene, and supermagnetic rings. And yeah, because supermagnetic rings, you need them for tier 3 belts. And yeah, it is one supermagnetic ring per 3 belts, but it's still such a high demand on something that's a pain in the butt to make enough of. So that's all. That's the gripe. But you know what? If it wasn't so difficult, it wouldn't feel so good once you got it done. Actually, the last time I did this, I had a checklist on my other monitor of just this right here, this screenshot right here. Of course, it didn't have the combat things, it didn't have the tier 4, whatever, and it just would cross things off as I put them on here to keep track. Okay. I guess I should do this. Again, I typically don't use these. But if I'm going for completion, I'm going for completion. Right, frame material for some weird reason. I mean, I guess it makes sense. These are like satellite substations. They do hover in geosynchronous orbit. So they will need frame material, which is like for orbital rockets. So, yeah, why not? Alright. Okay. Just going across, that's 4. We're only doing 3 at the moment. Did I remember right? Yes, I did. Now, in Factorio, you could set filters based on wire signals. And the wire signal, you could just say, read this machine, or read this belt. And that would be so, that would make the, that would cut out so many steps here. It's not necessary, but it would cut out so many steps. If, for example, you could have it where a sorter coming out from something that has logistics distributor coming in automatically sets the filter to that. But I know not everyone uses filters like that. So, that's just me. Okay, now, the amazing thing that they recently changed with when it comes to accumulators, which is what these are. The one, you could always put them in your fuel chamber as fuel. Secondly, you could there. Yeah, wow, that's just wrong. What I set this one to. Secondly, you could always do that. Secondly, they changed it so that the accumulator itself was not consumed in using it like that. So when you put a charged accumulator in your fuel chamber, it spat out an uncharged one once it was drained. And that's good. That's fine. That makes sense. And it makes it so that there's a lossless way to transmit power to your robot as well, to Icarus. Without using the wireless power towers. Secondly, they really made it much better in terms of how much energy it can hold, each one can hold, and how fast it can charge. So that made it so much better. And lastly, they made it so that if you spray it with Proliferator, it never removes it. No matter how many times it charges or discharges, it keeps the same Proliferator bonus. So that is a massive, massive boost to it. Let's see, what do these need? Again, super magnetic rings. Whatever. One of the reasons that it's a pain in the butt is that it is needed in so many places. But that's fine. Thought I set that. Whatever. And there we are. Except, I think yep. Noticed that problem. Yep. All right. So this proliferator is going to be one of the best, hardest working proliferator sprayer out there. Because now it's actually really worth it to just do that constantly. Why do ray receivers got to be a pain? Ray receivers and orbital collectors are pain. Whatever. They're not really. I'm overselling it. Come on, there we go. Go and boom. Another one off the list. Okay, I do not do traffic monitors. I just don't. There's no need. Alright, we'll do tanks. Thanks for the memories. And then glass, lastly. First thing in here that we need a glass, I think. Memory serves. So, is there anything else that requires 3? Got that. Oop, that's 4. We got that. Got that. Got that. Okay. So, logistics distributors. Okay, so yeah, this one only takes 3. But I'm going to be having all 3 of these made in the same, like, cluster. Because we got 4, 3, and 4, and that's going to be an interesting thing, too, to set up. So, we need logistics distributor. Got that, got these. Got the assemblers. These are all 4. And these are all combat. Yeah. Okay, no problem. We can do this without... going over the line, isn't it? I mean, it's 1 over the line. Okay, I can flatten that out. I can. So we got 1 coming in there. Don't need this one. what does this need? Oh, I already... Whatever. That, and... this. Yes. By the power of belt weaving. Does that look better? Kind of. Sure. We'll see how it is once I'm trying to get my decorative belts in there. So, see you on the other side of the ad break. That was late. Okay. Welcome back. So, yeah, it turns out I didn't need that extra one because I had an open assembler. Grumble. Frickin' grumble. So, there we go. We have completed that. So, where is the... Right. So we have here, the proliferator is coming in from here. And then we have one belt of it coming out to feed all the inputs here. And one belt of it coming out to feed all the inputs this way. So what's needed feed all the belt, all the sprayers. Low here. There. Now, okay. So if I wanted to come out... Oh yeah, I guess it would have been fine to have a gap, a one belt gap in here. And technically I could, you know... Oh my lord. No. No, I'm not doing that. So, coming up here, which means up, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Inside, outside, inside, on the outside. And I did it wrong. Oh, Lord. All right. Okay, so that's all the 2s and 3s. All the buildings with 2 inputs and 2 ingredients and 3 ingredients. but alright, so the things that have 4. Be that. That. Fusion power plants. So we have thermal power plants, geothermal power plants, fusion power plants, energy exchangers, artificial stars. Oh. That reminds me, for artificial stars, do I have annihilation spheres coming in? Survey says no. I think I've got everything else though. Oops. That was a mistake. Ah, crap. Okay. Remove. Alright, so we'll deal with the... Yeah, so annihilation spheres only take 2. Oh, so... Okay, so I will need another station here. Because... Sorry. So I will need another station here because I'm gonna need to make sorry. I will need so what are unipolar magnets used for now? I think it's only smelter level 2s. And honestly, it is a lot smarter to make smelters level 2 on site where you're mining them instead of making them here. So I confused myself. So, we'll just leave these as blanks, and I can decide later. Because I thought, oh yeah, I will need another station because I'm going to be bringing in unipolar magnets, but I just said that's not the way to do it. So we'll need deuterium fuel rods for the rockets. Rockets I'm not going to be making here. Because rockets you want a steady production of, and a sizable, it's a sizable thing. And yeah, so rockets and sphere components and solar sails are not going to be made on site here. Those are going to be their own thing. But I am going to need... So, not you. Oops. not you. Okay. Annihilation spheres require processors and particle containers. I don't know why I'm having a hard time finding it. Yeesh. Is that right? Yeah, processors and particle containers. Okay. Second? Alright. There. Nuts. All right. Okay. All to not cross that line. There, because the yellow flashes above me. Okay. So, back to this. We have up to here with the things that require 4 ingredients. Yeah, I'll do those. I am not doing traffic monitors. That is... Nope. Yep, time to do these. Yeah, now the 4 ingredient ones are gonna take up even more space. So they're probably gonna be two rows instead of just the one, which only took up by the 2 ingredient and 3 ingredient things. That was 5, so we'll skip it for now. And again, plane smelters need to be done on site. This is just a checklist anyway. What are we up to here? Yep, that's... And then combat. Wow, so I didn't... Oh well. Okay. So, to space this out, I have that put it up to there. There, and then 2, 3. One, 2, 3. You and then you. So yeah, you got 1, 2 there. And how many do we have to do? 21. Because 5, 10, 20 plus 1. Let's just, for S's and G's, start off here. Now, so, whatever, oh, and that means that those 3, where the proliferator is going to come in, is going to be over here. So, that should instead be over here. And we'll deal with that later. So if we have it like this. That's too close. So this feels like it's too much because it also doesn't. It also doesn't repeat well going down. Work. What about but that's getting over into here. All right. Never mind. So we'll just have it like that. And when we get to the 5, it'll be something along here. Okay. So this is one idea. Save that for now. What about this? Oh. I saved this too close. Okay. You know, I think that works. I think that works. Because also, once we do 5, the 5th one would be there. Ugh. No, it would need to be. It's gonna need to be a large, allowed to be spaced further apart. It's gonna need to be spaced further apart. And that's fine. Honestly, we could have used this with the three input and just no, because that is, oh no, I mean, would have been like that, and yeah, that goes to each one. But I think it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's not any more compact. It's fine. Okay. Oh. And yeah, provide. Wow. Okay. So this is spaced out, unfortunately. In terms of where the outputs go. Okay, I see. So I'm trying to, I'm envisioning how would this be folded? How would, to close up that space. I don't see how. I mean, I do. But it involves getting, having these boxes in this lane here. And that should be fine. Yeah, it could be done if you have the input boxes in this lane, but that would screw up with getting the proliferator in there. How many do we have? 21, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. Interesting. That, I think, was wrong. Yeah, that was wrong. Okay. Oh, and I did screw this up. First of all, getting stuck in there. Secondly, this is 1, 2, 3, and then the holder. And I forgot to put the holder. So, because we have 21 of these to do, and 7 per row, it's 1.5 rows. It's good. We're good. Used to have a mod where I could just like, this tool right here to select an area on the ground. There was a mod that let you do that with deletion. I also wanted to just delete that so I can Just grab all of these. It'll be fine. Oop, nope, not yet. Don't need that one. Perfect. This is what I tried to do earlier. There, move the canvas or palette over that way. And it's actually 20, because this only takes 3 items. It'll be fine. Too far. Okay, so thermal power plant. There we go. Wait a minute. Now it's fine. Just going across. Perfect. Excellent. Okay. Have I set all the... Now, I mean, do I really need to set these filters? They are... Not really, because by the time you're putting this out, by the time you're putting down this blueprint, you'll have all the input things unlocked, not necessarily the output things. But it's just good practice. Honestly. Okay. Yeah, so getting getting nanotubes in there is also going to be interesting because you don't want to overproduce, because you don't want to get large setups for those going, because you're going to be going to a water world planet, flattening that, and getting all the spiniform off of the planet, because these spiniform into nanotubes, and it's 6-2, so it really needs to be done on site. It's much better to be done on site. Yeah, these fusion plants. They save your butt when you get them set up with Deuteron fuel rods. All right, let's do steel here. This one's going to be processors, just going directly across. Ooh, that one actually should be particle containers, because of the ratio it needs. Even though with Mark III sorters, you don't need to worry about that. Not at the, not at the speeds that this is all going. Because yeah, the one sorter will be more than enough to keep one assembler operating, no problem. Now, it would be interesting to have set this one up to be similar, to be a 5 input, and just have 2 of those going into a secondary assembler For these, that just inputs directly into this. So this requires 1 every 3, and this produces 1 every 20. So yeah, that will be a constraint. However, we rarely will need these. It wouldn't be wrong to, if you want to do this yourself, you only need to mark the output, because the reason for marking is to have that annotation there once you are, once you stamp it down and you're not fully unlocked in the tech tree. That's the entire reason for this. That's wrong. Yeah, quantum chips. Again, it'll be fine. I need to stop worrying about that. So, we have steel, gears. Back to the easy stuff. As soon as I said that. Welcome back. Welcome back. And lastly, for this one, we need the arc filter. Plasma exciter. What? Why was I thinking an arc filter? What the heck is an arc filter? Because we have prisms, we have photon combiners, we don't have arc filters. We have arc smelters. Why is there 2 available routes? There should only be... I mean, maybe there's... whatever. Okay. Yeah, 'cause you need... I mean, so oil extractors is one of those things that you're only ever going to need a finite number of. And it's probably like 60... Like 20 or 30 per planet that has oil on it. And, you know, it's like orbital collectors. You need 40 of them per gas giant in the entire cluster ever max. And yeah, but it's just one of those things that I don't know what I'm saying other than complaining about, you know, setting up an automated thing for something that you don't need unlimited things for. But it's handy to have them available. I mean, because technically everything is, you don't need an unlimited amount. Okay. These 3 are the same. Set filter, chem plant Mark 1, chem plant Mark 1. And here we have, this takes in chem plant Mark 1. Oh, wait. If I've been forgetting to do this, I have. Okay, I've already done that side. Okay, so we have chem plant Mark 1 coming in. We'll need titanium glass. fringe matter for whatever reason. And finally, quantum chips. And yeah, that's Mark II. Alright. Alright, so here we have... This is calling in... reinforced thrusters. Charged accumulators. Supermagnetic rings. And... interstellar logistics stations. There we go. Okay, this takes in planetary logistics stations, which I never use. Probably should, because they let you be closer in. But yeah, I know. There we go. All right. Finally. Filter, steel. Set filter, steel. Done. Set output filter, planetary. Set output filter, planetary. There, and finally there. That works for that. Steel. There we go. Three more. Oof. All right. I always forget one thing. Changes every time, so. Okay, so we have iron, magnetic coil, stone, and green circuits. There's the iron. Here's the smelters. I typically don't use smelters until I'm tier 4 at least. Anyway, so das ist fein. What needs the least? Quantum chips. Good. And we need frame materials. Frame materials. And in there. And graviton lenses. Alright, and that's it for the for the 4 ingredient recipes. Okay, so what takes 5? And there's nothing that takes 6, so this is the last section. Let's get ray receivers. Advanced mining machines. Again, actually, yeah, so the advanced mining machines don't pull from aren't making them from the regular mining machine. So the Mark II is not being made from the Mark I. That is interesting. Should be very few. Actually, this is not the last section because we'll be making combat section as well. Yeah, so it's just these three. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so why did I do 4 just there? Because I'm also going to be doing it where we have the accumulators charging up here. Okay, so let's see. This takes 4, this takes 3, this takes 4, this takes 5. No plasma turret. Target type versus space. Only versus space. Interesting. Versus ground and air and space. Interesting. Four, 5, 4, 3, 4. Okay. On average, 4. Okay. So there's one. Now if I did this, come on, there we go. Yeah, it would have to be like that. But that's not going past here. So that's doable. Except that's not doable. Because it's in the wrong lane. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, that's doable. Except we don't need that. Nice. Oh. There we go. Charge. Alrighty, so this is requesting uncharged accumulators and providing charged accumulators. Done. Okay, so here, this is outputting particle colliders, hadron collider, eat your heart out. Oop. This is titanium alloy, titanium alloy, titanium alloy, frame materials, carting that over, graphene, in no particular order. And supermagnetic rings. All right. And that should be good. Here we're doing advanced mining machines. Which require, least of which is quantum chips. And as I mentioned before, it doesn't matter since we're only keeping one assembler going. But it's just that's just how I process things. Just weird that it requires this rare resource. But, you know, it's a mid to late game thing. Simple as that. And again, well, not again, but processors. And do all these need... Yeah, I should have just, you know, had that in what I copied across. Oh well. Come on. Here, silicon. Silicon, and silicon, and finally photon combiners. Okay, so that should be it for the regular buildings. The only thing remaining would be the combat buildings. Well, let's also get the proliferator going through here. Raise it up. Now, yeah. That doesn't look the best, but it works. And you know what the saying is? If it's stupid, but it works, it's not stupid.